Hey folks, welcome to another video. I'm your host, Slugger, and a lot has happened since the last update video. First off, wow! I'm still a little baffled by the results of this video, though I think it's now finally safe to poke it with a fork and say that it's done. Obviously, this brought a lot of new eyes to the channel, and I want to extend a warm welcome to anyone who clicked on that little red button with the expectation of hearing me complain about LEGO colors in every video. Surely it's not every video, right? Regardless, hopefully you've had a chance to check out the back catalog, as there is quite a bit of it. I've even added some new links to check out in the descriptions of certain videos with photos and other art assets. My photos are meant for public use. Share them around, use them as wallpaper, whatever. If there's a specific scene from a video that's missing, or I haven't yet cataloged a video's photography yet, leave me a comment and let me know what you'd like to see. This is probably a vain gesture, but with all of the sudden growth comes a myriad of frequently asked questions. I wanted to try to answer some here, as well as reinforce some of the ideals I strive for with these videos. First up, what's your opinion on power miners, or Bionicle, or some other theme that you may or may not have briefly mentioned in your videos? Can you make a video on this topic, etc.? To answer this broad question, I need to underline one of my guiding principles when presenting my opinion on LEGO. I try not to discuss sets or themes that I have no personal history with. It is my belief that the opinion of someone who has owned a set, or built a set, or played with a set is just inherently more valuable than someone who hasn't. In order to keep my perspective genuine, I want to stick to topics that I feel I can weigh in on. So, if I don't own many sets from a series or have nothing of value to contribute, chances are I'm not secretly working on a video of that nature. In regards to power miners and Bionicle specifically, well, the former's color scheme was and is too much of an ask for me, and I have some, let's say, highly divisive opinions of the latter, so I'd rather not poke that bear. To piggyback off of this question, I've received a number of requests to cover a few more specific themes, namely Adventurers, Ice Planet, and Life on Mars. For Adventurers, I'd love to have a large collection of this series, but unfortunately its popularity has made it much more expensive than its contemporaries. To add to this, Jamie was able to create amazing reviews for the first two waves over on Trick Bricks, so all that's left is Dino Island and Orient Expedition. Of those waves, Brett and I did have all of the Orient Expedition sets growing up, so there is a possibility of getting the band back together, but honestly I couldn't see this happening until 2024 at the earliest. In regards to Ice Planet, I do have a complete collection, so that covers the expensive part. What I don't have is much to say about each individual set. Hopefully you've noticed by now that my specific set review videos often go beyond the scope of what came in the box. I like to pride myself on crafting scripts that use the set as a microcosm to look at other concepts in the larger LEGO world. With Ice Planet, I just don't have that on tap yet. I love the theme and style, but even though some sets are notable, I find most are unremarkable. That doesn't mean they're bad, it just means I have nothing to remark about them. Still, Ice Planet content in some form will be coming eventually. Finally, Life on Mars. This is the series I currently have the most to say about, besides the 3 that are in active production. Pair that with an expansive and elaborate collection, and you can guarantee that Life on Mars content is coming, maybe sooner than you think. Are you ever going to discuss the Rock Raiders games or the Manic Miners fan remake? Not really, not in detail at least. In keeping with my earlier point about authenticity, I just don't play these video games enough to have either experience or expertise with them, sorry. The How to Build series I'm currently working on is probably the most you can expect on the topic. Speaking of which, let's talk about that for a moment. Someone who wants to remain anonymous for now contacted me after I released the tool store video with some notes on errors I had made in the build. Looking it over, Yeah, they're completely right about that. I really should have double-checked my work before rolling into production, so that's on me. Here's where things get a bit convoluted though. I'm working on creating a correction video of sorts for the tool store, but in order to make sure it's as correct as it can be, I had to dive back into Rock Raider's research. This is a huge topic to unpack, and I wish I could feasibly get into more details now, but I've already scrapped 4 different drafts of this script, so in the interest of, actually releasing a video addressing this topic, I'll have to remain vague for now. What I can say is it's still an ongoing search for the answers I'd like to find concerning the in-game models from the PC game. I have an educated hunch, and if by July I haven't been able to substantiate it more, then an educated hunch will have to do. If you are patiently awaiting the step-by-step instructions for my revised tool store model, you can find them in the description. Sorry for the stumble right out of the gate on a new series, folks, but Slugger's bite exceeded his chew on this one. Speaking of July, by many historical accounts, July 1st was the original release date for the Rock Raiders toys in some regions. I'd like to do something special to celebrate the anniversary, but you'll have to stay tuned for more details. Sometimes in these update videos, I like to go back and re-examine some of my previous outings. If you somehow missed either of these 2 videos, I'd really recommend going back and checking them out, as I think they represent some of my strongest work to date. The 1012 subscriber special was created under the gun, but I'm very proud of how it turned out. I'm pleased that it served as an introduction to the Model Team series for a number of people. I doubt I'll ever have all of the Model Team sets, but I would count on seeing at least a little bit more in the future. The Street Racer episode was also a lot of fun to make, and no, Marin hasn't blacklisted me yet for sneaking in that dark turquoise wishlist. Still, I just couldn't quit the Street Racer, even after completing the episode. Here are a couple more color schemes that I pieced together for the B and C models. Okay, this is the last thing I wanted to talk about today, and I mean that in both it's the last thing I wanted to talk about today, and it's the last thing I wanted to talk about today. Monetization. So, I want to lay all my cards on the table here. YouTube recently emailed me to inform me that the channel was eligible for monetization. I'm still forming a lot of my thoughts on the matter, but here they are so far. YouTube plays ads on my videos no matter what I do. I could be logged in on my own account, watching my own video on my own channel, and YouTube will still place whatever ads they please there. As far as I know, I have no control over this aspect. However, I do have some control as to where the revenue generated goes. If I do nothing, YouTube, and by extension Google, pockets it all. But if I step in and monetize some videos on the channel, I will take a small cut away from them, sort of Robin Hood style. By the way, I was not at all prepared for the seedy underbelly of what lies beyond the 1,000 subscriber threshold. Some of you may be more hip to this, but for those who aren't, allow me to illuminate. You know those annoying mid-roll or unskippable ads that you have to sit through sometimes? Or those banner ads that block the bottom half of the screen? Well, those are all monetization options, meaning that every time you've had to experience one, that was a choice made by the content creator, not YouTube. They decided to do that to you in order to earn more money. Like I said, that might have been obvious to some of you, but it certainly wasn't to me, and I don't think I was ready to hear it. I know it's not like they personally broke into your home or anything, but I now have a more informed lens when viewing other creators' work and decisions regarding that work. For the record, I have only checked off the skippable ads box for any videos I choose to monetize. I hope this results in exactly the same experience you would have otherwise when viewing content on this channel. I want to add that I wholeheartedly endorse using an ad blocker extension when watching my videos. or simply keep mashing that skip ad button. I value your time more than I value the pennies in ad revenue it would buy me. I also don't mean to judge other creators unfavorably here. I have the luxury of not currently having to rely on YouTube as a source of income. Others may not. If I were in their situation, I might be singing a different tune. For now, though, I can rely on my 9 to 5 to keep me going. That being said, who knows what the future holds? Thanks for watching, everyone. I've been your host, RR Slugger, and I hope to see you next time for another video.